Bright Lights, big city. Glad to see everyone here to celebrate this big occasion. My name is Matthew Pedraza, and on behalf of Mike and Rebecca Jones and Troop 277, I'd like to welcome you also to this very special Eagle Scout Court of Honor. They're much different than the troop courts of honor in that we celebrate this highest rank in scouting. The rank of Eagle is the highest, and only 4% of all scouts who join BSA attain this rank. It's today that we celebrate Daniel and Matthew's achievements and the rising summit to their earning of the Eagle Scout rank. And they join the company of many other Eagle Scouts in our troop and family. So at this time, I'd like to introduce our Master of Ceremonies, former Scoutmaster of Troop 277, Greg Lube.
Hello?
Thank you.
Okay. For your video, Daniel, I want to also express my congratulations to both young men for achieving this rank. It's not an easy rank. You know, people will say, oh, you know, you join Scouts, and you really look at it, and 4% out of all the boys that join, and that number is actually calculated from Cub Scouts. It's low. And it's a real honor, and I'm glad they made it. And at this time, I would like the escorts to bring our two Eagles in for their ceremony, please.
Nope. No. Escort.
Escorts, not flag. You can edit that out, Mike. Thank you, gentlemen. At this time, I would like to get the flag ceremony with the honor guard. Please bring the flags in. Andrew, will you give the commands?
Please rise. Color guard attention, troop attention. Color guard forward march. Color guard halt. Color guard prepare to post the colors. Post the colors. Please recite with me the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Color guard reform. Color guard return to post. Halt. Color guard at ease, audience at ease. Please be seated.
Okay. At this time, I would like to ask Mr. Carl Monrad to join us on stage. He is a member here at Kingsman Church, and he's known both these guys since they were little rascals. Would you please lead us in an opening?
Absolutely, Greg. Thank you very much. Yeah, Matthew and Daniel, really proud of you guys. And as a father of 3 Eagles, I know the dedication it takes. And then Rebecca, Mike, this is awesome. Congratulations. Please bow our heads. Our gracious God and Father, we thank you for this special day in the lives of both Daniel and Matthew and their family. Today we celebrate both Daniel and Matthew's collective efforts over the years to advance in scouting. We think of all the merit badges they've earned along the way, the oath that they've learned, the character that they've developed, and their service to our community and their fellow scouts. Little by little, month by month, and year by year, they were faithful, and today we celebrate all their hard work. So we ask you, Lord, to bless Daniel and Matthew and their families, support them and encourage them. We ask that your blessings fall upon their fellow scouts whose fellowship and guidance they have enjoyed along the way. We thank you for the scout leaders who gave so much time and energy to develop young men like Daniel and Matthew. Bless them with certainty that their work has influenced the course of many lives. We all benefit because of their sacrifices and leadership. And so, in God's name, we pray that you bless this celebration as we rejoice with Daniel and Matthew. Amen.
Thank you, Carl. At this time, I would like for Mitch Lieben, Andrew Lade, Ryan Lade, and Ryan Flynn to lead us in the Scout Oath and Scout Law.
Hi, everyone. When a boy becomes a scout, there is within him something that we call the spirit of scouting. Apologies. Because the spirit of scouting embodies the principles of the Scout Oath and the Scout Law, it becomes a shining beacon of inspiration. After a boy enters scouting, he lives by a new set of guidelines, the Scout Oath and the Scout Law, and is bound by personal honor. Let us renew our spirit by reminding ourselves of the meaning of the Scout Oath and the Scout Law.
Honor.
This means your solemn promise, a promise that relies on your good reputation and intention to carry it out.
I will do my best.
What is your best? It's giving it all you've got and working on it, with total focus in your heart, soul, and mind. With all the strength and devotion you've got, that's doing your best.
To do my duty.
To do the job, to meet the responsibilities and what is expected of you, not just halfway, but completely.
To God and my country.
Duty to whom? First, to God. Fulfill your religious responsibilities in accordance with your beliefs. Second, to our country and fellow man.
To obey the Scout Law.
This means to follow it completely, all 12 points, not just a few of them.
To help other people at all times.
This is how you can impact your world. This could mean saving a life or changing a tire or carrying a bag of groceries. It requires helping people beyond your own family, and not just when it is convenient or when someone is watching, but always.
To keep myself physically strong.
This means you are physically capable of defending yourself, your scouting principles, and your country.
Mentally awake.
Stay alert, observant, and open to learning.
And morally straight.
In thought and actions, know what is right and what is wrong, and stand by that.
You see how the spirit of scouting is now beginning to grow and become a little brighter. The Scout Law is made up of 12 separate traits. Each is an important foundation in the building of strong character, which is one of the goals of scouting.
The Scout is trustworthy.
The badge of honesty. This means being truthful so others can rely on you.
The Scout is loyal.
Be faithful and true every day. Love others and your country.
The Scout is helpful.
When you are helpful, you care about others. You don't wait to be asked. You notice what needs to be done and just do it. By helping each other, we help ourselves and mankind itself.
A Scout is friendly.
A Scout is a friend to all. He is a brother to other Scouts. He offers his friendship to people of all races, religions, and nations, and respects them even if their beliefs and customs are different from his own.
A Scout is courteous.
Be respectful and considerate of others, allowing each person his human dignity.
A scout is kind.
Maintain a friendly, generous, and thoughtful nature.
A scout is obedient.
Be willing to comply with requests. Practice it with your family, enlarge it with your friends, and share it with humanity.
A scout is cheerful.
Anyone can put on a happy face when the going is good. The secret is to wear it even when you have a problem. Be an optimist.
A scout is thrifty.
Being thrifty implies intelligent management of your resources. It will allow you to thrive and flourish.
A scout is brave.
Courage is having the mental or moral strength to face difficulty. It's a confident bearing in the face of challenges and a resilient quality of mind and spirit.
A scout is clean.
Soap and water help a lot on the outside, but it's what inside that counts.
A scout is reverent.
Keep God at the very top of whatever you believe in. Your faith enhances every area of your life, including how you relate to other people. Reverence is integral to good character.
At this time, I would like to ask Michael Aid to please come forward and describe the obligation of an Eagle Scout. Mike was a troop leader at 277. He was also, during his, one of my last acts was to get him involved in the first year program. And he was a co-leader at Sea Base, where I guess Matthew swabbed the deck and cooked the food and did everything for him, right?
Oh, I got some stories.
Okay, good.
Oh, what a pleasure it is to be here today for you two hoodlums. Let's talk about the obligations of an Eagle Scout. Becoming an Eagle Scout is a great accomplishment, but being an Eagle Scout, that is a great responsibility. The Scout Oath and the Scout Law take on new meaning. The motto and the slogan, they take on new urgency. The first obligation of an Eagle is to live with honor. He is a marked man, a leader. For good or ill, people will follow the example that he sets. He would sooner give up anything than his reputation or his good name. As Shakespeare has said, "Mine honor is my life, both grow in one. Take honor from me, and my life is done." The white of the eagle badge represents honor. The second obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be loyal. As a follower, he promised to be loyal to those who were above him. Now, as a leader, he must also be loyal to those who are below him, treating them as he would want to be treated. And he must also be loyal to his ideals, not letting others sway from his course. The blue of the eagle badge represents loyalty. The third obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be courageous. Stepping into his new role as a leader, he will face many challenges and obstacles. A ship in the harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are for. An eagle must have the courage to do what is right, no matter what other people do or say. The red of the eagle badge represents courage. The fourth obligation of an Eagle Scout is to serve others, for a leader is above all a servant. The practice of a daily good turn leads the eagle to a lifetime of service. He knows that only in giving of himself does he give anything of value. Just as it always has, the scroll on the badge represents service. The final obligation of an Eagle Scout is to have vision. As a leader, he must now blaze his own trail, Just as a bald eagle soaring high above the ground can look far into the distance, so too the Eagle Scout must look far into the future. Many people will follow him. Only with vision will he lead them in the right direction. The silver eagle hanging from his badge reminds the Eagle Scout of vision. These then are the obligations of an Eagle Scout: honor, loyalty, courage, service, and vision. With these qualities, he can lead his troop, his community, and his nation to a better tomorrow.
Thank you, Mike. For the Eagle Charge, I would like to ask Joel Stockwell to please come forward. He is the current scout leader with Troop 277 and is in charge of the first year program, and had the pleasure to go to Philmont with Matthew, which I don't think he set your tent up for you, did he?
No, he didn't. But we got some other things we can talk about. Daniel and Matthew, I charge you to enter the Eagle Scout Brotherhood without reservation and to uphold the ideals of honor and service. By repeating the Eagle Scout promise with your fellow members, you will join your brotherhood. When you pledge yourself on your sacred honor, you will be sealing your eternal loyalty to the code of the Eagle Scout with the same words which closed one of the founding documents of our great country, the Declaration of Independence. Will all the Eagle Scouts here today please stand and renew your Eagle Scout promise as Daniel and Matthew join our brotherhood? Scout sign, and please repeat after me. To the three promises of the Scout Oath, I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example, my rank and my influence count strongly for better scouting and for better citizenship in my troop, in my community, and in my contacts with other people. To this, I pledge my sacred honor. 2, please be seated. Daniel and Matthew, you deserve much credit for having achieved Scouting's highest honor. Wear your new rank humbly, wear it discreetly over your heart, not on your sleeve. Be ever mindful that an Eagle Scout is looked up to as an example. Remember that your actions are now a little more conspicuous and people will expect more of you. You will always be an Eagle Scout and will be expected to conduct yourself accordingly. May the Scout Oath and the Scout Law and the ideals of Scouting be your guide for today and the future. Last but not least, I charge you and all Scouts to put back into Scouting what you have taken. Do you accept this charge? Thank you.
Congratulations, guys. Please join me up here on the stage. Let me be the first to shake your hands. Congratulations, boys. It'd be nice if your parents would join us right now so they can do the awards with us. Come on up. Matthew, would you join me, please? And we're literally going to do one at a time so that it's your shining moment. Okay, so Daniel, you're going to go first. Okay? You know, yes. You, Dad, if you'll put that around his neck, his new neckerchief, to show that you're always going to be there for him. You'll give him support, love, and maybe every now and then an occasional kick in the tuchus to motivate him. Becca, would you please pin the Eagle badge on Daniel's pocket? I know Mom was always there for you and gave you those great encouraging nudges and love. And the one thing, you're always going to be Mama's little baby. All right, Daniel, we need you to have the father's pin and the mother's pin. We're going to start with the mother's pin, and please put it on your mom's ribbon. Done. There you go. Yeah, that's right. Please place the father's eagle pin on his shirt. Give him a big hug for all the love and support. Congratulations. Now it's your turn. So Mom and Dad will come down here. Mike, if you'll exchange the neckerchief. Very nice, very nice. Rebecca, if you'll please again place the eagle badge over his heart on his pocket, please. Mom's always going to love you, even though she may tell Daniel he's her favorite. You know, you never know. You just never know how these work out. Matthew, would you please place the mother's pin on her sash that's yours? Would you please place the father's eagle pin on your dad's pocket? Congratulations, each and every one of you. What's going on? All right. Rebecca, Mike, y'all take a seat for a second. And we're going to do some reflections first, but you're going to stand up here and enjoy the moment with us. And I'd like Mike Lade and Mike, if you've got any, to come back on up. Mitch, if you've got some. I'm going to go first since I'm holding the mic. And I didn't have a lot to do with Matthew's career. I kind of moved on to a different job in Boy Scouts with District Eagles, but I remember watching him advance. But this one, oh, he loved the first year. Oh, wanted to go camping, really was into it. Well, after the first year program, you kind of no longer have somebody hold your hand and wiping your nose and changing your diety and make sure things are done. It's kind of up to you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And you weren't happy. No, you were ready to quit. And I get a phone call from Mike one night and says, oh, God, you got to talk to the boy. I said, well, bring him to the meeting. No, he doesn't even want to go back to another meeting. He's done. I said, oh, is he? Okay. Well, Mike, why don't you bring him and meet me at Natalita's, and we'll have dinner and talk about his future in scouting. Now, I see them come in, and he is smiling so happy because he is by himself with Dad. They're going to have Mexican food. Oh, it's just a father-son moment. And then he kind of turns, and he sees me. And that father-son moment is gone. And he couldn't turn around and run because Mike is behind him. And he just mumbling and grumbling. It was kind of like Muttley, if you remember Dirk Dastardly and the cartoons, the older generation. And he just mumbling the whole time. But you stuck it out and it was well worth it, wasn't it?
Yep.
Really was. You betcha you did. I'm proud of you. Congratulations. You're lucky I got nothing on you. Here you go, Mitch.
Thank you, Greg. Well, that was nice because I was kind of the opposite because I came into scouting, I was later than Mr. Lube, and so my older son was more Matthew's age. So Daniel was one of those old kids doing all the cool stuff when my boys were like this. And so you'll have to forgive me, Matthew, but I'm going to talk about the Matthew with the spiky hair. Does everybody remember the spiky hair? I don't know when this happened, but you're like, yeah. Well, that was great. Anyway, so Matthew was one of those scouts that he just couldn't wait to get out there and do it. Like, he was just ready to go. Oh, there's fun to be had? Which direction? Okay, he was off, right? Wasn't one of those kids moping in the back or causing trouble on the side. He was just out there having fun and having a ball. And I was fortunate enough to be able to go to Sea Base with Matthew, and we went out sailing around St. John, the island of St. John for a week. And as part of the preparation, the boys learn quite a number of things, but also the adults that go have to take some trainings and things you might think of like weather watch and recognizing a tornado when it begins and wilderness first aid and all these boat safety and all these things that okay, we're ready to go. And so we're out on this fantastic sailing trip, several days in. Who knows where we are on the map? And the captain says, oh, you have to go see the salt pond on this island. It's just the best thing. You go out there and you float. It's fantastic. Well, everything that you do on this trip, you have to swim to. So you're on the sailboat. Oh, there's an island there. Well, that means you have to swim to the island. And when you want to go back to the boat, you have to swim back to the boat. So we swam out there. We hiked out to this lake. You remember, right? And none of us knew. We're like, where's this thing? Where's this thing? And finally we get there, and what color was it? Yeah, it's like orange, orangey, bright orange. Like if you're in an airplane flying over and you look down and you see something strange, that's where we were. A hot water mineral salt pond. And we got out there and we floated around and it was fantastic. And adventure, adventure done. We're like, okay, I know that this day we got the check mark and it's time to head back to the beach and then swim back to the boat. And, great. Everybody's just casually going back down the trail. We've already been there before. Go back down to the beach where we swam up from. Except not exactly the part of the beach where we swam up from. The part of the beach that we swam up from was beautiful white sand. Beautiful, very nice sand in your toes. Well, when Matthew came out, he went to the rocky part of the beach and placed a hand down onto a sea urchin. Comes back towards the adults, highly trained, never about sea urchins. So they're not in that chapter, I don't know, right? Now, the thing that really stands out, Matthew, is that the way you handled it. Because not only did I not know exactly what the treatment was for having sea urchin needles in your hand, you didn't either, and we figured that the captain knew, so I swam back to the boat, and you wouldn't think that I could leave a rooster tail on the way back to this boat, okay? And the captain reassured us and said, it's all right. Just soak his hand in vinegar, the needles will come out, and he'll be fine, right? But what really sticks out for me was, in the midst of this adventure, we had this little mini event where you had every opportunity to handle it any way you wanted to. And I was just so impressed, as I know that Mike was calmly panicking, and I was calmly panicking and swimming, and right? And you were just doing your thing, and you waited, and it was just fine. And as soon as we said no problem, you were back off to whatever was next. And that's just how I remember you in Scouts, is that, skin your knee, put a Band-Aid on and go, right? It was never a lot of drama, never a lot of all this. And I'm very thankful that I was able to go with you on the trip. And I have some really good memories, and I hope you can close your eyes and just see that beach and that salt pond and everything. And so I'm very proud of you, and I just want to say congratulations. And Daniel, you as well. And it's great to see you here as an Eagle.
So I got to be Scoutmaster for both of you. Brothers, who hasn't? Right, raise your hand if you got a brother. Competition never happens, right? Especially on events where parents aren't there. That never happens. I remember one of the things that I was introducing to the troop was tomahawks. And they were both very interested, scarily, to throw sharp axes. So between the two of them, when one got it, it was Daniel who got it first, who got it to stick first. You never saw Matthew cut in line so much to try to get one stuck. Eventually, they went back and forth, and they both stuck 3. And I think between the two of them, threw more of the axe throwing that day than any other scout, any 2 scouts put together maybe. Then later on, we went back to the same camping trip a couple years later. Daniel didn't go. Matthew did. And this time, in addition to tomahawks, I brought out knives, so throwing knives. Matthew comes up to me, and I had announced that we were doing knives, and I said, okay, let's go set up the target so we can throw knives at him. And his eyes lit up, and he goes, Daniel's not gonna be able to throw these. I can't wait to get home. I can't wait to get home. That's what he was more concerned about, not throwing the knives that his brother wasn't. So between the two of them, they were probably the most even-tempered. I don't think we had to separate them much for any fights or anything like that. Most brothers that are in the troop have a lot of angst against each other. So these guys actually really cared about each other, except when one got to do something that the other didn't. So I'm really proud of both of you. I'm really proud to have been a witness to your growth in scouting and to become the men that you are here today. And it's a fantastic accomplishment that you have earned, and keep that well in your mind that it is an earned thing, just like everything else that's going to come before you. Well done. Thank you.
What, are you already nervous? What is this? Well, so I've known these boys so long, I knew them when short hair was cool. So, Daniel, you know, I don't have dirt. I was asking, trying to remember the dirt. What I think about with Daniel was just that firstborn, calm, tell me what I need to do, and let me go do it. That's really pretty much Daniel. What I've come to learn, though, is there's also his alter ego, Danny. Danny, I think, you know, has his own ways. But I will tell you, as I was thinking about like our time together, I thought about that first summer camp at BTSR. If there was something that could go wrong at BTSR, it went wrong. The thing about BTSR is somebody thought it would be a great idea to wake all of the boys up at 4 a.m. in the dark with headlamps, and that we would go hike up this mountain, some 2,500 feet rise in elevation, where every step was like that. Just, okay, let's go do it. Nearly killed me, but I think you were up there as fast as anybody. What nobody told us was we were going to do the swimming merit badge in the coldest spring-fed pool. I think the coldest pool in the history of the world. We were pulling some of the little scouts out because of hypothermia after about 5 minutes. This guy did the swimming merit badge in, I don't know, 60-degree water. And that's a something. But whether it was climbing the mountain, whether it was swimming in the freezing cold, Daniel, just like, okay. And I think to Lou's point, he got to the second year and it was like, well, what is this all about? By the third year, I think he really showed who he is, which is, I can do the things I want to do, and I can do all of them very well. And so that's kind of my take on Daniel. Now, Mad Dog over here. That is a whole nother story. It's always that second child. It's always the second one. So, I mean, we would go back. I gave him the nickname of Mad Dog, playing flag football, probably as a Cub Scout, right? Yeah, I mean, he was little, but he was a beast. He was a mad dog out on the field. The other thing I think about when I think about Maddie is when your dad is a scoutmaster, it's a little different. And dads have a way of being a little harder on their own than maybe everybody else. And so I remember, you know which story it is, don't you? Yeah, you want to tell them? We were in like early first year, and we were probably at Huntsville, and it was time to tie knots, and we had a knot bar up, and you know we tried to separate, but dads, they gravitate over, and Matthew was not having a good day of knot tying, and we just decided it might be better. Let's just leave it at this, that we would go just the two of us and tie some knots. And you know what? He ties knots like a beast. But the thing that I will always, always, always remember, sea base. So as Mitch was saying, we got on a boat in St. Thomas and we spent a week and we sailed around St. John. And this boat happened to have a husband and a wife. The husband was a little older, and he was a mad dog. He was a beast. He was like legendary. But he was older, and he didn't have maybe the patience to spend all of the time with the scouts. And so his wife was the first mate. And it's really hard to tell the story quickly and to capture the wife. But the wife, well, before we ever got into the water, I don't think anybody thought, before we get in, we're gonna watch a 45-minute video on how we've ruined the oceans. We're here to enjoy and to go, but there we are. Nobody thought that the first mate wife was going to be watching to make sure that not even one drop of anything, your lemonade, your lunch, fell on the teak of her boat, because it was her boat. Well, combine these two things, making a long story short, she starts let's just say a soliloquy about the evils of sunscreen. Keep in mind the teak, okay? It's a base to the story, okay? She is 10, 15 minutes into this diatribe about how, even though we bought the expensive, eco-friendly, reef-friendly sunscreen, it's going to kill every fish for 3 million miles and for 125 years. And she is asking the question, does everybody understand? And I want you to picture one of those little bubbles above her head, and the word understand. Does everybody understand? Understand is just barely being like typed out. And you hear, and you're like, what is that? And you look over, and not only is he dispensing it in a loud fashion, but it overlaps his hands, and yes, oh, the teak! I didn't really understand until like the second to last day of the trip, really, the origins of this grief. It wasn't so much the first mate, it wasn't so much that he didn't want to get sunburned, but he got a little sunburn. On that second to last day, he came to me and he said, Mr. Lade, my mom's gonna kill me. She told me not to get sunburned. So, as all things come full circle, fear of mama, right up there at the top, job well done. Those are my stories. But I think to Mr. Lieben's point, that sea urchin, whatever it is, roll with it. Let the waves take you, let them polish you finely like a piece of coral. So let that be your memory, but mine are all good. All good.
Thank you, guys. Does anyone else have a moment or something they want to share about the boys? Ryan, Andrew? Y'all are good? Okay. I was just making sure. Yeah, the fear of mom is a big thing, isn't it? Yes, yes. Which is probably why the two of you enjoyed each other. Now, I know there are a couple of leader reflections by video that hello? You gonna do the video reflections?
Hi, Daniel and Matthew.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry I can't be there today to help you guys celebrate, but I wanted to make sure to send you this message to let you know how proud I am of both of you for completing your path to Eagle. This is not an easy path, and certainly not a path that many people make it all the way down. So for both of you to have done it with your parents behind you, helping the whole way, maybe sometimes pushing, is a big accomplishment. And I just wanted to make sure that I could take a few minutes to say how proud I am of your efforts, to let you know how much the troop really appreciates all of your efforts throughout the years. There's a lot of camping trips. There's been a lot of service projects. There's been a lot of high adventure trips. All these things culminate into what became your journey to Eagle. So now as you finish up this journey and you continue on with the rest of your college and now even graduating, so congratulations there too. As you continue to go on into life, you're gonna find lots of ways to show your character, to show your background, to show why you're an Eagle Scout. And most of all, people are gonna look to you to lead. People are gonna know who you are and what you're about because you're an Eagle Scout. And you represent all of us that have worked very hard in this troop and in this community to put on a good scouting program. And I know that you guys will be excellent examples and ambassadors of what makes an Eagle Scout. So again, my heartiest congratulations. I wish you guys all the best, and I'm very happy to be able to give you this message and to celebrate with you. Take care.
Well, hey there, Daniel and Matthew. Well, I wish I could be there in person. So excited and honored to have the opportunity to wish you both congratulations on achieving Eagle Scout and having it awarded this evening. As I've said many times, and as I said to both of you, certainly Daniel, during my tenure as Scoutmaster, while this is a great award, it is a lifelong pursuit of a goal. And it's the start of something really exciting. As you set your mind to it, you worked and walked the path, you held the positions, you ultimately did the project, learned a bunch, and now you get to wear the patch and the medal, and most importantly, the label Eagle Scout. Remember though, it is never were, you now are. Everybody will look at you differently. Everybody will have higher expectations. And you are both in a great position to meet those expectations and far exceed them. No matter where life takes you, school, career, family, remember the lessons that you learned along your scouting trail. Share them with younger scouts, share them with your coworkers, be that bastion of leadership that you have already proven, even at a young age, that you're ready for and capable of leading and living up to. Congratulations again. Super excited for both of you. Welcome to the nest, a proud member of a really elite and important fraternity, the Eagle Scout. Good luck, guys.
Daniel and Matthew, congratulations on this achievement. As a fellow Eagle Scout, I know a little bit about the hard work and the perseverance and all that goes into achieving this rank. I also know there's many that helped me along the way, so I'm sure on this day you give God thanks for your parents and your scout leaders and your fellow scouts and all who accompanied you on the journey to Eagle. I give God thanks for how I had the privilege of witnessing you both as leaders through Kinsman and through Camp Hope. And I know one of the reasons that we benefited from you as leaders was from what you learned through scouting. And so as we were blessed by your leadership skills, I pray that you continue to be a blessing as you learn what it means to be an Eagle in this world. Congratulations again.
Daniel and Matthew, congratulations on this Eagle Scout Court of Honor. I'm so sad I can't be there with you tonight, but please know that Kinsman Lutheran Church is celebrating with you as you follow the Scout Law to be trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. I know that won't be difficult for the two of you, and we support you both as you take the Scout Oath. Blessings to you tonight. You and your family are in my thoughts and prayers.
A lot of nice things said about you guys. And you deserve it. You really do. You really did. Congratulations, Mike, Rebecca. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to you guys for your thank you speeches and your pins. Daniel, you go first.
I just wanted to thank everyone for coming to our Court of Honor. I really appreciate everyone taking time out of their week to be here. Boy Scouts has been a pretty long and crazy experience for me. It started in Cub Scouts and it's been well over a decade and all. But Scouts has given me a lot during that time. I met a lot of my friends through Boy Scouts and have gotten the opportunity to meet a lot of new people. Because of Scouts, I met many of my friends, which are here today. Being able to hang out with my friends has been a big reason behind what made Boy Scouts so much fun. I'm very thankful for a lot of the leaders who helped guide me and gave me the room to make those new friends. The leaders and the overall scouting organization helped create a space that would build my character into what it is today. I learned a lot about pushing myself out of my comfort zone, learning the discipline to become successful in life, and I learned how to prepare for tough obstacles and complex challenges. Most importantly, I learned how I can be of service to others and help those in my community. Scouting also gave me countless memories and experiences that likely would not have happened without scouting. I went on countless camping trips, summer camps, high adventures, and those all gave me unique experiences to experience the outdoor and have fun with my friends. I got to learn numerous skills such as pioneering, camping, setting up tents, and many more. I'd like to thank the Kinsman Church for setting up my Eagle Scout project, and I'm glad I could give back to this community. I'm very thankful for the many people who volunteered their time, expertise, and services for my project, and this project would not have been possible if it wasn't for all their help. So now I'm going to give out mentor pins. So for my first mentor pin, it's actually for Mr. Dye, which he couldn't be here, unfortunately, for scheduling issues. But he was my first Scoutmaster, and he was a very big part of my first few years in Boy Scouts. He was a big driving force into starting off my Life to Eagle journey, since he was my Life to Eagle coach, and I'd like to thank him for all that he's given for me. My next would be Mr. Pedraza, if you could please come up here. Mr. Pedraza was my Scoutmaster for many of the years after Mr. Dye left, and later on he became the Life to Eagle guide and helped finish up my journey, and he was a big part in finishing up my part. For my next mentor pin, it's Mr. Lube. Mr. Lube definitely helped a lot. Without him, I probably wouldn't be in Scouts, and he helped me do a lot of merit badges, helped encourage me, and he gave me a lot of free brisket sales. For my next 2 Eagle pins, I want to give it to my dad. My dad has helped a lot through my journey and scouting experience, and I'm grateful that I was able to experience a lot of experiences with him. For my last mentor pin, I'd like to give it to my mom. She helped organize so many events for me, and pretty much everything I did through scouting, she was involved in at least some form.
Okay, that seems to wrap it up, so I'll make this short and sweet so we can all eat. All right, first off, I want to thank you all for taking the time out of your schedules to come to this Eagle ceremony and help me celebrate this milestone in my life. Scouting has affected me in so many ways over the years, and I honestly could not tell you who I would be without the growth and unique experiences it has provided me. Throughout my time in Scouts, I have learned to be more responsible and to be overall a more well-rounded person. Whether it was hiking, setting up tents in the rain, or pushing through tedious merit badges, my time in Scouting has taught me to stick through things. Camping is fun, but only when you are willing to go through the tough parts as well. As a person, I have learned many skills like better communication and better time management, which helped me not only succeed in school, but in almost every aspect of my life. The lessons I have learned from Scouts, I will take with me for the rest of my life. Besides just camping or merit badges, I have the privilege to go to both Philmont and Sea-Based High Adventures. On my Sea-Based trip, I got to sail and live on a boat for a week, which was truly special since I'd never been outside the country before. The beauty of the island was one of the best things I've ever done, and I don't think I will ever forget the good times I had, the interesting conversations I had with the first mate about sunscreen or the shape of sea urchins. Philmont, on the other hand, was much more of a challenge, but it was a challenge that made it so rewarding. We hiked for what felt like years, and we got many blisters, but climbing each peak and getting to live out in the mountains made everyday life feel like a breeze. The thing that made scouting most enjoyable for me was friends. I've been able to meet so many people through this program, and all the time I got to spend with them at camps or meetings made it fun. Now, I'll move on to some notable mentors that have helped me out through my journey in scouting. First one I'll do Mr. Lade. Mr. Lade has been with me since I was a first year, and even before that, he's been a part of my journey in scouting, even through Cub Scouts and all that. And he's just been a great mentor for me throughout all these years. Next, I'd like to honor Mr. Lieben. Mr. Lieben, I didn't get to know as well my first year, but throughout my ventures in Sea-Base and some other merit badges, I really got to know him, and he helped me become a better scout overall. Now I'd like to thank Mr. Pedraza. Mr. Pedraza was my first Scoutmaster I ever had, and he really got me going in the whole journey with all the new stuff he did with camping, like the tomahawks, axes, and all that. It really helped me grow in those first few years. And then later on, as my Eagle coach, he helped me get through a little last minute or something. So I'd like to thank him for that as well. I would also like to thank Mr. Ryan. He's currently not here, but he was one of my last Scoutmasters, and he was with me on my Philmont trip, and he really helped me grow in a lot of ways, especially near the end, as he helped me with my Eagle. And for last, I'm going to be a mentor pin for my dad, for always being there to help me at campouts, High Adventure, Philmont. He really helped me grow as a person over all these years, whether it be school, scouting, or anything. He just helped me grow.
It's your moment to shine. Stay up here, be in the spotlight. And you have no idea how cold that pool is at Buffalo Trails. That was why we quit doing swim tests when we went to summer camp, because of Buffalo Trails. It's 102, 103 out there, and you jump in that pool, it doesn't matter whether it's 8 a.m. or 4 p.m. You can walk on water. Mike, were you in Scouts? Nope. Okay. Oh, you are now. And what I'm going to say to you too, there is a great joy of being in Scouts. I mean, I got to life, other things got in the way. I didn't finish Eagle. But I had a blast taking my son through it and a bunch of you other guys through it. And that's where the real joy is, because in a way you get to relive, think about the good old days, and then you see them develop. So I hope you get back in scouting, whether it's with sons or now daughters, okay? Do it, okay? It'll be well worth it. You'll enjoy it. At this time, I'd like to ask Mike to come up here and do our closing prayer.
So to be fair, Buffalo Trail Scout Ranch water was cold. I think it was fed by the same spring. If you ever, anybody can go to Balmoral State Park. We went there the day before we went into BTSR. Equally as cold. It was a very cool park, anyway. All right. So, oh God, our Creator and Father, we thank you for the gift of scouting by which you form young men to be servants and leaders. And we thank you especially for Daniel and Matthew, for the mentors and friends who have helped them, and for the hard work you have helped them perform to earn the highest rank of scouting as an Eagle Scout. May you continue to help them and all who witness this ceremony today to do our duty to God and our country, to help other people at all times, to keep ourselves physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight, as we strive to be trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. In all these virtues, may we always seek to embody the values of Jesus Christ, our Savior, and imitate him as our Lord. For it is in his name we pray. Amen.
Before we retire the colors, all four of the Joneses, thank you for being here, and they ask that after the flag ceremony, you join them for a little bit of refreshment. At this time, we might... They ain't clapping for me. Get back up here and take a bow. I know you guys are loving this. Will the color guard please reform?
Please rise. Color guard attention, troop attention, color guard forward march. Color guard halt. Color guard prepare to retire the colors. Retrieve the colors. Color guard reform. Color guard, return to post. Halt. Color guard at ease, audience at ease.